The French Onion Double-Baked Soufflé. It's a perfect dish for the classic film Sabrina. Elegant and beautiful, delicate and sophisticated. While it seems difficult to achieve, I promise this recipe, it's foolproof. And above all, it's delicious. Welcome to Film to Table, where we explore the relationship between favourite films and delicious dishes. Join me in the kitchen and let's get cooking. So it's fair to say that Sabrina is probably one of my favourite films because of the classical French cooking. So here to talk about it with me today is Erin, a wonderful filmmaker. I mean, what were your first thoughts on this movie when you watched it?
When I first watched it, I probably saw it 15 years ago. Yeah. And it was a movie that you have to see as a filmmaker because it's made by Billy Wilder, it's got Humphrey Bogart, you know, Audrey Hepburn. She is beautiful, she is poised, she's a classic look that a lot of women aspired to at that time.
Being a chef, that one of my favourite scenes is that French kitchen. Behind him in the window is the Eiffel Tower and the chef is he's got the moustache, he's got the hat and the apron, and there's the respect for the chef, almost like a mentor. I'm automatically drawn to that because I love the French kitchen. I believe that French is the mother of all cuisine, and so hence why I wanted to make a souffle today. But not just a souffle, a double-baked French onion souffle.
I've done this before.
You have?
No, I'm just
You've
kidding.
never?
No.
Please, by all means. So, interestingly enough, when you look into this pan here, there is literally like a cup and a half of onions, right? But you started off with this many onions. So you got to think onions are full of moisture. Okay. So when you add heat to these and butter, which we have in here, and we cook them down for about 40 minutes, it pretty much becomes that. What we have here is milk. I brought that to the boil. We're adding some beef stock. Have some flour here. We add this in. Now, when you have your milk and your stock, now you've got to be careful here.
Okay.
Is you add, say, a little bit at a time. So if I added all that milk, you'd end up with lumps. And as it thickens and the base takes your milk, there you go, see how it's thickened? We can add more. Okay, so at this point, all the milk's worked in. It's certainly not sticking. I can turn this off. Basically, just need to allow this to cool. I need to add some seasoning. Would you do the honors? This is fresh pepper, so it has this real earthy note. So once we've incorporated all our milk, basically cook it for a couple of minutes, cook all the starch out so it's not chalky, then allow it to cool down so your eggs don't scramble when they go in. I mean, within this movie, there is a real transformation.
The thing that really struck me is that when she's standing there at the train stop, when you see her
waiting for
coming
Dad.
back, yeah, but it's the way she holds herself.
Yeah.
And when she gets in the car with David, she's smiling, she's laughing, she's even kind of like poking fun at him, and she's holding like almost a power over him that you hadn't seen in her before.
Okay, so let's straight onto the eggs. We had a good pinch of salt. And you're probably wondering, why that big bowl? Can't I just throw that in the electric mixer? I 100% can. But I believe in my craft. And I believe that anything made by hand is always going to taste much better. Using a copper bowl, there's a natural chemical within it. It allows me to beat egg whites without having to add another chemical like cream of tartar as a stabilizer. All right then, so we add the egg yolks. I'm going to take a good pinch of fresh nutmeg.
I have to say, I am pretty surprised that this doesn't really feel all that difficult. But it feels like in the film, obviously, there's, you know, how many people are there lined up? 10, 15, and almost all of them get it wrong?
Yeah. Well, there was one, the Baron. It was the Baron that let Sabrina know that she didn't turn the oven on. So as long as you know how to turn an oven on, I think you're going to do okay. All right, so at that point now, we can actually start incorporating the whites. So I'm going to take some of these whites.
Do I keep going?
Yeah, but now you're being a little more gentle. So you're sort of mixing and folding. All right, so now at this point, we can take those. As you can see, I'm being a little more delicate. I put it straight into the copper bowl to eliminate having to lift the whites out. Now all we need to do is basically move it. So souffle goes into the prepared bowl, so butter and a little bit of flour to stop it sticking. So this pot of water we've had on for most of the time here is going to function as a bain-marie. And a bain-marie itself, it insulates the souffle and actually helps with the cooking process as well because it incorporates some steam. A third to half the way up the souffle mold. Now we do have our oven on, which is very important. So into your oven at 385 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now what you're looking for when you're making a double-baked souffle, you're looking for about a 3/4 of an inch to an inch above the rim, should be golden, and when you touch the top of that souffle, it should have a little bit of a spring left in it. Okay, so once they come out of the oven and have done their rise, you allow them to sit out for about 20 minutes. Beautiful. So there's a lightness to them. So we take some cream. Now, if you want to take some of that Gruyere cheese and sort of sprinkle it evenly. So these go into the oven. You take one of those. 385 for 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
So they should rise about 1.5 to double their size. the cream will reduce and thicken and go slightly golden. Can you smell it? Mm-hmm. It's the Gruyere, it's the white pepper, it's the nutmeg, it's the creamy richness, whether you can smell it or not, but 10 to 15 minutes in the oven. So my way of eating it is to actually cut. I mean, I wouldn't go into the cream first, but I cut. See, there should be a little bit of a crust on top. You cut through that. So you want a little bit of the souffle, you need a little bit of the cheese, the cream.
Definitely don't want to leave out the cheese. Okay.
Cheers.
Should we try it?
I think that's the best souffle I've ever made, by the way.
No way.
Way.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm serious. There is just something a little bit more special about it. And how about you? I mean, what did you take away from the movie, Sabrina?
Well, I think ultimately it's about Sabrina going on this journey, right? And it's an obvious literal journey where she goes off to Paris and she's also learning a whole new skill, a new art form. But I think beyond just learning about something else, what really actually happens is she starts to learn about herself.
Basically fill her jug and came back with so much confidence. That's how I feel about cooking every day. That I know I can fail once or twice, but once I master it, no one can touch me.
Well, that's something to admire. I like that.
For new episodes, recipes, and more, visit alstudio.com.